Settle in, we need to make some resolutions for the year of 2022. Hi everyone, my name's Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be all about next year's reading plans, and not just reading plans actually, it's going to be plans in general for kind of the bookish elements of my life. We are coming up to the end of the year now, it's coming up to the end of BOOKMAS. I have been posting a new video every day so far during the month of December. If I plan this right, this video is going up on Christmas Eve. So you have one more BOOKMAS video left and then we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming with Wednesdays and Saturdays. But I thought I wanted to take a little bit of time before BOOKMAS finished to sort of think ahead and think of what resolutions I want to have for my bookish life for the next year. So before I go on to that, I suppose I should reflect a little bit on 2021. So 2021 was a strange year for various reasons, I mean for everyone involved. Obviously 2020 was sort of the year of lockdowns and restrictions and things like that, and then 2021 was kind of like a mixed bag. Things started to open up but then it's still not entirely normal and it's just been a little bit weird, and my reading life has definitely been affected by things that happen in the outside world as well, because prior to 2020 the maximum number of books I'd read in a year I think was 70, and then last year I read 105, and then this year I don't know how many I'm going to finish on, but it's looking to be like 120 maybe a little bit under, which is the most books that I've ever read. And some of that was to do with sort of working from home, although I did go back into the office in about June time and I've managed to keep up my reading since then, which I'm very happy about. And actually I suppose that kind of leads on to the first resolution really, is I want to continue making reading a priority. At the beginning of the year I said to myself I want to try and end on reading at least 100 pages each day for this year, and again I don't have final numbers at the minute, but I do know that I have already hit that goal. Like anything that I read now is just going to take me higher above that goal, so I'm definitely on track for that and I'm very happy about that. And the thing is that I don't feel like I've sacrificed anything else in order to do that. I've actually possibly taken on more responsibilities this year in other ways, like just making this channel. Like this takes up a large portion of my time that could potentially be reading time, and yet I'm still managing to make reading a priority, which is great. And I'm also still doing things, particularly in the later half of the year, that I was doing sort of pre-pandemic. So I'm still sort of going to events and going to the theatre and things like that. So again, I'm not sort of sacrificing other things in order to read, I'm just making reading a priority. So at times when maybe I would just be sat scrolling through my phone, I am instead picking up a book, which is great. I am very happy about that and I hope that carries on. I suppose actually making reading a priority kind of leads on to one of the next things as well that I want to reflect on from the last year, but then also talk about going forward in the next year, and that is about reading sprints. Reading sprints have been a big sort of motivation for my reading during this year. I've definitely got the most reading done when I've been sat on sprints, mainly sort of in the comments, but actually that is what one of my resolutions going to be, is that I want to do more sprints sort of as a person on camera. I have hosted them myself a couple of times, but I feel really awkward asking other people to come on sprints with me. So then I always feel really awkward sort of setting them up and doing them, which has kind of put me off doing them a little bit. It's also difficult to try and find a day when other people aren't already doing sprints. But I would, if possible, like to get involved in sprints a little bit more. I will try and actually ask people to join them myself a little bit more, but also I'm going to put it out there, if anyone wants somebody to join them on sprints, I am happy to help whenever you need me to, because I really enjoy them. I enjoy sort of chatting to everyone, both on screen and in the comments during them. So yeah, sprints is something that I want to take more of an active role in during the next year. I'm now going to talk about some actual like book specific reading goals, and again sort of reflecting on what I've read this year. I have definitely got more into adult fantasy this year. I did a whole video earlier on in the year about sort of figuring out what my reading tastes were and how they were changing as I'm getting older, and adult fantasy is kind of where I'm leaning more and more towards. I've read a lot of Robin Hobb this year. That's been sort of one of the discoveries for me this year. I also discovered my love of J. Kristoff and sort of Nevernight and Empire of the Vampire this year, which I'm sure you're all sick of hearing me talk about. But Basically, I am discovering what I like in adult fantasy, but I am also open to trying other things. I really want to start reading Brandon Sanderson because I want to see if I like his writing as well. And I also just really want recommendations from you guys. If there are some adult fantasy series that you think I need to read, please let me know, because that is really what I'm interested in sort of figuring out a little bit more about during the next year. I also would like to sort of look at the opposite end of that and go to middle grade books, because I'm still desperate to find the middle grade book that is going to make me really fall in love with middle grade. I think the closest I've got is I really love Tom Fletcher's books, but I think part of that might be me being biased because I just love Tom Fletcher as a person. I did really enjoy Maury and the Night Brothers this year, and I'm looking forward to the sequel next year, but I really do feel like I'm missing out a little bit on some of the amazing middle grade out there, and I'm just not really sure where to start. I will obviously watch like Gav and Jade's videos for recommendations on this, but if you guys think there's a particular middle grade that I'm going to love, do let me know in the comments down below as well. The next sort of 2 resolutions I have kind of linked together, I suppose. So the first one is that I want to be a bit more selective in what books I am buying. I do buy a lot of books. I know that I do buy a lot of special editions of books because I do like having the pretty covers on my shelves as well. I do tend to buy special editions of things before I've even read the book series, and I want to get better at actually reading those books. When I know the special edition's going on sale, I want to try and actually make a point of reading it before I buy it. But also just in the last year, I noticed I have been more selective in terms of like going into bookshops and buying things. I still want to obviously support bookshops as much as possible, but I'm trying to go in with set things that I'm looking for rather than just sort of picking up whatever's on an offer that day, because that's what I used to do. I used to sort of walk past a Waterstones every evening on my way home from work, and I would call in and see what was on the buy one get one half price offer and buy books from there, and I've got so many of those still sat on my TBR shelf at the minute. So I want to be more selective. I'm not saying that I won't take advantage of those offers, but generally it should be if there's a book that I'm actually interested in. So as a whole, I just want to be a little bit more selective in what I'm buying so that I'm not sort of just adding to my physical TBR, because what I have noticed this year is actually the majority of books that I bought I have actually read, which is really good for me because that was not the case previously, and I would like that to sort of carry on really, so that I'm not adding too much to my physical TBR. And then sort of looking at my non-physical TBR, it's NetGalley. This year is the first year that I've applied for things on NetGalley. I've been approved for a fair few, and my rating on there is not that great, to be honest, and I would like to make an effort to actually try and read some of those on there. And the thing is that could help with the being selective with the physical TBR, because what happens sometimes is that I'll get it on NetGalley, but then I'll still end up buying it before I've actually read it, when I could have read the NetGalley arc and then decided if I wanted a physical copy. So what I want to do is I'm still going to apply for anything and everything on NetGalley, that's absolutely fine, but I want to make a point of trying to read those ones before deciding if I want to buy it in a physical format, rather than sort of just letting them sit there and then going, oh, but it's pretty, I want to buy it anyway. And then I just have like 2 more resolutions. It's more to do with sort of my channel, and well, not even necessarily my channel, but sort of me in the bookish community as well. So I started this channel in March this year, so it's not been very long. It's been about 9 months. And the reason why I started this channel is that I wanted to sort of be more active in the community. I was watching a lot of videos, but I was always the person who sort of just lurked. I didn't really comment very much. And then I started watching sprints, and I started joining in the chats on the side of the sprints. And I just really liked that, being able to actually talk to people. And then I joined some people's Patreons, so I was in the Discords, and that was great as well, because again, I just liked talking to people. So I started this channel in the hopes that I could sort of make some bookish friends in the community, I suppose. And I definitely have, but I also feel like I could put myself out there a little bit more. Like, there are people on here that I would actually consider friends, hopefully, who like I talk to a lot. I'm always sort of commenting on their videos, they comment on mine. We talk on Twitter, we talk in live shows, all those sorts of things. But then sort of going back to like me saying with sprints earlier, I still feel really awkward sending them a private message and saying, hey, would you like to join me on sprints this weekend or something like that, because I just hate putting myself out there for things, and I want to get better at that, because I just want these sort of friendships that are developing to carry on, basically, and I really enjoy speaking to you guys. So I suppose what I'm trying to say really is that I just want to talk to more of you guys, and if you guys want to get in touch with me, all my social media is linked down below. I'm always happy to chat to people. So yeah, I want it to be sort of like a mutual thing of us all just reaching out to each other a little bit more, because I love this bookish community and I want to sort of just grow those friendships within it a little bit more. And I suppose that one leads me on to my last resolution as well, which is that I would like to sort of meet up with some of my bookish friends a little bit as well. So obviously Yalk is a thing that is happening next year. I do have tickets for it, and I'm very excited to be able to meet up with some of the people that I talk to online in person and just have a really great bookish weekend. And yes, that is one of my resolutions, is just to have a fantastic time at Yalk, and to be able to actually meet some of my online friends in person is going to be amazing. I'm so looking forward to it. Right, that is my nice cozy comfy resolutions video. I just wanted to have a bit of a chat about where things are at. I could do sort of more things about looking at like how I want to grow my channel over the next year, and like numbers and things. Like I suppose I could look at like subscriber counts and things like that, but I don't really want to. I don't really care about that too much. I just enjoy being part of this community, and I want that to carry on, and I want to read more books that I love and talk to you guys about them. And yeah, that is pretty much what the overall thing of this video is I want to read more books, and I want to talk to you guys about them more. So that is everything. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, and let me know if you have any sort of bookish resolutions for the year going forward. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow with the last video of BOOKMAS. It is going to be Christmas Day. I will be putting a video out. I will have pre-filmed it and pre-scheduled it. I will not be doing it on Christmas Day, but I will see you guys there with the end of BOOKMAS. Bye!